Can we do it?
What is up, everybody, and welcome to the first official inauguration episode of Let Me Handle That. This is a podcast dedicated to businesses, specifically those in the trade and construction industry, that are really looking to get some inside support, insights, educational content. We'll be speaking with business owners about how they manage their administrative support and where I, Shelby Joynes from Joynes Administration, can come in and fill in a couple of gaps, whether that's through listening to this podcast and getting some great ideas, or having a conversation with me directly about bringing me on to sort some things out. Whatever it is, let me handle that is about bringing a community together, providing you insights, tips, tricks, all the good things that come with running a business, and how I can help make things just a tiny bit easier for you, probably. Pretty confident in myself because where do I come from? Where do I get off sharing this type of information, saying that I am an expert, which nobody is an expert. We're all learning every day as we go on our journey, no matter how long we have been in it. I myself have been in administration for over 18 years now, and I have taken myself out of the corporate world and into the world of entrepreneur and business ownership with Joynes Administration. I had previously been handling administration in the construction field, oil and gas, things along those lines, working in executive roles, project coordination, project management, you name it, any group that needed support, that's where I shone the brightest. This whole podcast is here to give busy contractors and trade businesses an inside look at how their back-end systems and admin support come hand in hand with strategies to then help you grow and scale your business. Because we all come to a point in our business where we start hitting that ceiling, where being a solopreneur, the only guy on the tools, only gets you so far, and then you've maxed out on your hours, your time, the ability to actually bring on bigger projects because you don't have the workforce. So we're going to dive into things that relate to that, around that, above it, below it, all angles, and really help you be the best business owner that you can possibly be. So if you're a contractor, a trade business owner, or anyone who feels buried under admin tasks while trying to grow, scale, and expand your business, then you are in the right place. So to start this off, let's go a little bit into my story and why this podcast matters to me so much, because I feel like having a voice, especially myself, is such an important thing. I am coming out of my shell as my business grows and evolves and changes and shifts and all the good things. And I had seen through my own growth how people in the trades and construction businesses are struggling. They're struggling when the paperwork starts piling up. They're struggling with late nights, missed invoices, inconsistent workflow. Their family time may be suffering. Relationships may be coming to a point where there's a lot more tension than there used to be. The constant cycle of being stuck in your business instead of on the business. These are such big topics that we are definitely going to be diving into. But admin systems and strategies and all the things that kind of go into the back end are not widely discussed, and people don't want to talk about it. It's icky. I get it. It's boring. It's lame. It's mundane. I, as an administrator, could go on and on about just how shitty the admin stuff can be. Trust me, it's my job to clean that up, and I see it every day, every week, every month, every year at the same periods where people are struggling with keeping it together in their back end. But my passion is so much stronger than the ickiness that comes along with it from other people's point of views. I can take you from feeling the difference between working until burnout or building a sustainable and scalable company. This is what I live for. My passion in administration doesn't just come from making your lives easier, but it comes from seeing that your lives are easier, seeing those shoulders go from up in your ears on our first discovery call or chat to over time seeing it finally be so relaxed that you're just like a puddle in your chair. And being able to witness that from start to finish is one of the most profound things that I love about my business and serving this community. But what drew me to this industry, what brought me here, as I mentioned before, I had worked heavily in oil and gas and those executive roles dealing with big, big, big major projects, working with all types and levels of executive office staff to the engineering staff to drafters. And my favorite was working with the trades. A good majority of my administration came from coordinating and working with the fly in, fly out jobs for oil and gas. So I was dealing with the plumbers, the electricians, the pipe fitters, the framers, scaffolders, everybody that comes together to really bring something together from the foundation, quite literally, to full blown commissioned. We're up, we're running, we're pushing things out. Oil is making it to market, gas is making it to market. And those were my people. I felt that I could actually be myself with those people where I didn't feel like I had to put on a mask and pretend that I enjoyed this office persona that I walked into the front doors of my office building every day with and didn't shut it off until I walked through the door when I got home and the phone stopped ringing. So the group of people and just the freeness and being able to be myself is really where I found my passion in working with the construction and trades. They are just my people. From a very blue collar family full of teachers, engineers, farmers, you name it. So work hard, play hard was always a big thing in our family. But yeah, as I'd mentioned, they're just my people. There's just something about it when you find that group, that niche, that community that you're like, yeah, this is where I can see myself spending a lot of time. But through that, I'd noticed that they are the areas that have the biggest struggles. They are the bomb when it comes to working on the tools. But when it comes to doing the back end business stuff, man, that's where it all starts to fall apart. And that's where my passion of helping and serving and being supportive comes in because I can fix those problems in a fraction of the time where it might take a business owner 4 hours to get invoicing out for jobs and things like that, review timesheets, etc. I come in and pound it out in an hour and a half. Now, if you were to go by a journeyman rate, times that by four, and then my rate at my hours it takes, there's a huge amount of savings that comes into play there. But some of the recurring themes that we're also going to be talking about in this podcast is not just about the trades and so much business, but it gets to be a little bit more niche down. My main specialty is helping construction and trade business owners when it comes to SOPs and their systems. SOPs, if you're not familiar, as I'm coming from a corporate world, I'll break it down a little bit, but SOPs stand for Standard Operating Procedures. And these are the documents that help you do those constant repetitive tasks. So, how do you go about your invoicing from A to Z? all those steps in one document so that if you plan to sell your company in the future, you have the most priceless assets to go along with your business to keep it running smoothly when you can jet down to Mexico and enjoy a margarita on the beach. They also help with keeping retraining and re-explaining down to a bare minimum because you can just direct people to go to a certain folder, certain file, storage area where you have these SOPs handy and they can just review and complete the task on their own. Now, another topic that we're going to be covering is also obviously delegation and admin support, what contractors can and should get off their plate and how to make the leaps into trusting others, because trust is such a big thing when it comes to business, especially when you're at the point of needing to build and expand and maybe hire on more subcontractors or possibly employees to support you. That delegation and admin support trust is key. We're also going to be diving into marketing and operations. So these are the back end pieces that make a business look and feel professional while bringing in more leads. We're in a very bright, colorful, people want to see branding. They don't want to see plain, boring emails in Times New Roman anymore. They want something that their eyes can look at, something that they can explore visually. And that's one of the topics that we're going to dive into. And it's one of my absolute favorites. And then also going to talk about growth planning. So moving you from that survival mode into planning for the future. Now, whether that's a 3, 6, 9, 12-month plan, it's a 3, 5, 7, 10-year plan. If it's a just coming up this week, we're going to dive into how that is a key importance in planning your future to shift you from survival into thriving mode. We're going to dive into hidden costs of organizations, the power of SOPs, and what it looks like to go from running your business out of your truck to stepping into the full-on CEO role. That's the main end game for every and any business owner, is to be as hands-off but still aware in their business. So, wrapping things up, I want to thank you, listeners, for tuning in for our very first episode. This is going to be such an exciting time for Let Me Handle That. I am excited to share my knowledge and all of my insights with you. There's so many good things coming up. So, I want to encourage you to subscribe, to like, to follow, to keep in touch with me so that you don't miss any of my upcoming episodes. They're going to be posted weekly. There'll be notifications on my social media, on my website, and all the good things to make sure that you don't miss out. But to get ahead of the game, subscribe, follow, like now. If you're wanting to connect outside of this podcast, we have 3 main platforms that Join Us Administration plays on, and then we'll be followed by Let Me Handle That. And those are Instagram, where it is at Join Us Administration, and that is JOINES administration. You can also visit us on our website at www.joinusadmin.ca or on Facebook and LinkedIn at Join Us Administration. This podcast is all about helping you reclaim your time, systemize your business, and build something that grows without burning you out. So if that sounds like what you need, hit subscribe, share this with another business owner, and let's get started.